Hey guys, Beth here. I am in Pasadena, California for my first ever back-to-back half marathon. So we did last weekend in St. Petersburg, so we're coast to coast, back-to-back halves. Pasadena, the weather is absolutely gorgeous, but I'm really excited because a friend that I met on Facebook who has a very inspiring story. I'm getting to meet here for the first time in person. His name is Tim, and I would like to introduce you to him and have him tell you his great story about getting back up. Tim?
Well, thank you. My name's Tim Fennell. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I lost a considerable amount of weight.
How many pounds?
128 pounds.
That's considerable.
In 15 months.
That's incredible.
So I never ran before, so I thought I made a bet with somebody at the end of last year saying, oh, I was going to run a half marathon. I was like, no. I'm like, wait, I'm going to run it. So then I ran it, and now I'm addicted.
What was your first half marathon?
Vegas.
The rock and roll Vegas?
December 5th, yeah.
Okay. Nice. So this year, how daunting is it to think about traveling now to 12 different races in 12 months?
It's amazing. I mean, just the people that I've met. I mean, I have a shirt that I wear, and so people always come up to me and say, stuff to me. So that's really good. It feels good.
Were you inspired by anybody yourself, or was it just something that you said, okay, I just need to do something to change, and you picked it? And
I just wasn't happy with myself as a person, and then I met some people that they're bigger people as well, and they got me to like myself at where I was at. So I figured, why can't I change this now? And so everything's just fallen into place.
It's so great. Well, I've personally met you on Facebook. I think you friended me, or I saw first.
Well, I saw your ad on Facebook, and I had to. Well, your story is amazing. So.
Well, to me, I'm the same way. I got to a point where when I had my spinal fusion surgery and the paralysis, I was sort of fed up with realizing that I can't move forward from here, and it was just technology keeping me back really to find something. But it took me 2 years to find it, but the one thing that we have in common is we decided to take it on ourselves.
Yeah, 100% on my own.
Yeah, you have to be your own best advocate, and I don't know about you, but that would be my message for everyone, is you should fight harder for yourself than anyone else is willing to, because that's what you're here for, and in the process, we've improved our lives, but just from the 2 or 3 friends that I know specifically who are following you, who just thought that's not possible, where they don't want to follow me, they knew I was already a marathoner, so they weren't necessarily inspired by me for them to run, but when I showed them your site, they were like, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. So I just want to thank you on behalf of my friends for making your story public.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Because, I'm getting emotional because it's just tough. So, it's been a weird year. So.
But, again, part of what life is all about is diving in and feeling the good and the bad.
Right, and all I want to do is inspire and motivate people, that's all.
That was the one thing for me, too, is when you think you've got one thing fixed, like you set your goal on, I want to do this, and you get there and you realize there's still this empty spot somewhere. Like, in some ways you feel better, but in some ways there's this pit inside of you. The depression is a lot harder to let go of.
My self-esteem is pretty much shattered. Like, it's a learning experience for me right now to improve my self-esteem.
Well,
it really is.
You're doing what needs to be done. Really, you're doing work,
trying.
And you're pushing forward, and that's the only way to gain self-esteem. No one can hand it to you.
No, they can't.
No one can write it over to you. You can't say, here's a check, I want my self-esteem. However, yeah, but at the same time, you're doing the steps, and it doesn't come instantaneously. There's going to be a point that I had that, looking back, after the first couple years of getting over the depression and realizing the paralysis was permanent, that for me it was, okay, crap, now I'm living a lie because I'm still depressed inside. Yes, people are going, you're so amazing, you're so inspirational, and I'd go home and cry. And I would cry to my husband, and I would cry over a shoe not fitting, that I can't wear a shoe. And that was nothing, it had nothing to do with it. It all went to that same well of depression that you have when you start thinking, who am I?
That's how people all the time. say how great I look, and I'm like,
You don't feel
I don't feel it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
I mean, I know I look
you do
better than I was, but I don't feel it.
And that part takes a while to catch up. I would imagine, just from my own experience. But the one thing in my heart that I believe that you're doing is sharing your story and connecting, and you're living out loud. And that is the one, I think, remedy for self-esteem. And so I just want to say this, you guys, that he's got this mission that's extremely inspiring. He's trying to do 12 half marathons in 12 months. And Tim has lost 128 pounds in 15 months and is really trying to share a very emotional story. And we don't know how it's going to end. Neither one of us know if we'll finish 20 and 12, 12 and 12. But one thing that I have the advantage of is the backing from the company who has made this possible for me, the Brace company that made it possible for me to run. So if there's anybody out there who wants to help sponsor Tim and his awareness campaign, we would just love to have any ideas possible. Lodging, airfare, any kind of branding that he could wear, anything, because his message is so important. And also, he needs your words of encouragement too. Both of us do. We're putting ourselves out there for what we believe are really good causes. It's still a very personal mission.
On Facebook, I can be found at Tim's 12 and 12, and my website is timfennell.com.
Tim, Fennell, timfennell.com.
And that was all donated to me, so that was all amazing.
Oh, that's so great. Well, you really have inspired me, and I want to thank you for inspiring my friends, and I'm so happy to have you as
Just
new
send anybody
friends.
my way.
Yeah, anybody that we can, really, please. This is such a great story, and this is what life is all about. So, hey, team up with us, help them out any way you can, and help anyone you know to get back up. It really is the way to live life to the fullest.